What's up, everyone? Welcome back to The Break, issue number 61, and we are talking about how to banish uncertainty. So, this episode is brought to you by Cityside Capital, a real estate private equity company focused on multifamily self storage, industrial, and other assets that generate passive income and opportunities for investors. To learn more about their uncorrelated strategies for building wealth through real estate, contact Paul Dierks directly and tell him you heard him on The Break. So, speaking of Paul, Paul knew he was destined for to get more out of work life. He came to me to help him sort through a career uncertainty of leaving his Wall Street job to figure out his next chapter. I just released a podcast episode about his journey that you can find below, or go check out the Break Pod on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. So you've had that same feeling, one of not being on the right path. That subtle rumble that can turn into a deafening roar very quickly. I know that feeling well. As I've said in past issues, I'm the guy who never knew what he wanted to do when he grew up, and I still don't. So I've become somewhat of an expert on career uncertainty and what it takes to step forward into change. While change is becoming more and more certain, we feel more uncertain about the steps we should take. The only way to crush this uncertainty we feel about our next steps in our careers is to get comfortable with not knowing, which is a huge shift Paul had to make. I believe this is the single greatest skill we can learn if we want to achieve our hopes and dreams to get what we want out of life. This is why the unbreakable community exists. So I want to share our 5 principles that we live inside that community. But first, real quickly, here's what the community is. Instead of shelling out a few $1,000s to work with a coach or work directly with me on how to sort your life out, in this community, we are a humanhood of early and mid-career professionals who have that feeling of needing something more out of work. We support each other to crush the uncertainty that prevents us from taking steps to get what we want out of life. And we learn to make our next career move with confidence and boldness by 1, building a model of our unique selves through my advantage mapping system. 2, using our decision-making frameworks and templates. 3, mitigating downsides and fear setting. 4, getting help from a veteran career breaker like me on weekly calls, and we get support from others working through their own career changes as well. Right now, you can use the code THEBREAK100 off and get your year membership for only $149. When you do, you also get a free one-on-one call with me, absolutely free, and that's a $400 value. All right, back to the newsletter. This is the 5 principles we use to smash career uncertainty. And these are the principles we live in the unbreakable community each and every day. So number 1, our identity is not given to us by anyone or any job. We give ourselves meaning. So our society is obsessed with titles and job roles, status, and other people's opinions, mainly from bosses. We can't hop on that treadmill of thinking we need to always do more, get the next job, buy the bigger house. These are society's scripts, and they are traps. You are not your job. Paul and I smashed this concept and unlocked new opportunities for him. You have the power to define who you are and what you want. Not for the approval of other people, but for yourself. When we understand this principle, we give ourselves permission to break free from the confines of traditional career expectations. We begin to see a wider set of possibilities, and we begin to believe in carving out our own unique path. Number 2, belief is the greatest superpower. We cultivate it. So there's a saying, every how can be endured if there is a why. There are many facets to building belief, but connecting to a why is the most powerful. So we do the hard work to uncover our whys, and we work hard to never forget them. Other ways we build our belief flywheel in this community are focusing on using our strengths and advantages over improving our weaknesses, tracking our wins to stay in the gain, which is a powerful concept coined in the Gap in the Gain book by Dr. Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan. We smartly mitigate downside and properly frame risk in our decisions. and we connect to our future selves and we chart a logical path to get to that future. Number 3, we have the right to change and evolve over time. Our past does not define us. You do not have to be the decision your 18-year-old self made. This is a breakthrough that Paul and I made together while doing the advantage mapping work. Just because you majored in finance or education or computer science doesn't mean you need to stay locked in that path forever. Your past experiences and choices should never shackle you to a single career path. We embrace the idea that change and evolution are an empowering part of growth. Your 18-year-old version of yourself should never have the responsibility of charting the rest of your life. Number 4, intention and imagination break resistance to change. Here's all the resistances I hear to moving forward into change. I don't have time. I already invested so much in this career. How will I make money? I don't know what else I could do. I don't know how to choose. I don't know what I want. I'm scared of what other people will say. And change is risky, right? Every single one of these can be solved with a little creativity. And whether you like it or not, you are a creative being. So in this community, we imagine how we can solve for problems in multiple ways. And we use our intention to weed out shiny objects that don't align with where we want to go. Those two things break our resistance so we can start to move forward. And number 5, we can be scared, but we act anyway. You have permission to be scared. I'm scared every single day. And so is every person who has ever faced a change. Think about it. The only difference between you and someone who just got fired is you are thinking about changing on purpose. It's the same fear, one forced and one voluntary. We feel the fear and we go anyway. We can do it because we're building the capacity to continue adapting on the fly. We're building the resilience muscle each time we go. Because anything worth doing involves fear, and anything worth going after is on the other side. To deal better with uncertainty, start living these principles. And if you want to become unbreakable the next time you face a change, then join us. So you made it to the end. And so if any of this resonated with you, I would love to see you as a member in our community. It will be one of the best decisions you ever make. And don't forget to use the code TheBreak100off. Wishing you boldness and clarity, and we will see you next week. Thanks.